News at 10.
8 people are behind bars tonight after an undercover prostitution sting. The investigation focused on men who solicit online prostitution along the Skyline corridor. All of the men contacted an undercover officer and met her at a local hotel after an ad was placed on internet sites that were consistent to other ads used for prostitution. And we're glad to be with you tonight. I'm Jabari Pruitt. We take a closer look at a bill in the legislature that could affect minimum wage across the state. Plus, a dangerous road in Tuscaloosa has some city leaders looking for ways to make it safer. And Peter Crank will tell us how low will the temperatures go. But first, 6 people are killed after 2 deadly car crashes in Ohio and Alabama. We begin tonight in Ohio. 5 people are killed after a crash on Interstate 75 this morning. Police in Dayton says the driver of the sedan was traveling the wrong way down the highway before it slammed into an SUV carrying 4 people. All 5 died at the scene. Now, alcohol is believed to be the cause. The crash is under investigation. In Alabama, the investigation continues after an early morning crash that left 1 person dead. Police say the driver was also going the wrong way on Interstate 459 South near Exit 6 in Bessemer before colliding with another car. The driver is in stable condition at UAB Hospital. And Rice Mine Road has proven to be a dangerous and deadly road in Tuscaloosa. WVUA 23's Taylor Mooney shows us what city leaders could be doing to make it safer.
Jabari, Rice Mine Loop Road was the scene of a 3-car accident on January 28th, killing 15-year-old Ariel Backstrom and seriously injuring the driver, 16-year-old Brianna Hike.
Since that accident, I have had some constituents to contact me who travel that road frequently and made suggestions to how we might take a look at that stretch of road to see if we can make it any safer.
Engineers have been in the area and given cost estimates. District 3 Tuscaloosa City Councilwoman Cynthia Allman says that the city could spend up to $500,000 for the projects to be completed. It could include pylons to divide lanes going east and west. Adding additional shoulder to the road could also be another option the city could take.
Well, anytime you have something like that happen, it certainly makes you take pause and want to, if there's any corrective action to take, and I'm not saying that there is, but if there is, then certainly take that as quickly as possible. So I expect that we'll be talking about this in the next week or 2.
As part of the Transforming Tuscaloosa legislation, the city of Tuscaloosa will invest $200 million over a 25-year period. Rice Mine Road receiving $4 million worth of improvements. The driver in the wreck, 16-year-old Brianna Hike, has since been released from UAB Hospital. In the newsroom, I'm Taylor Mooney, WVUA 23 News.
All right, switching gears here. Peter Crank is in with a first look at that forecast. And Peter, it's cold outside.
It is. We're sitting at 36 the past hour here in Tuscaloosa. We dropped to 35 after 10 o'clock. Further to the north, it is in the single digits and below 0. We're sitting at 7 in Minneapolis and -1 in Boston. The good news is we're not going to be seeing that colder air moving into the area. We're going to see some warmer air moving in from Texas as we go over the next couple of days. 56 for our high temperature tomorrow, but we do see increasing cloud cover ahead of a rain chance that will arrive on President's Day. All of the details on that in weather.
All right, Peter, thank you. Well, Justice Antonin Scalia, the longest-serving Supreme Court justice, has died. Officials say he died in his sleep during a hunting trip in Texas. In a statement, Chief Justice John Roberts says the High Court is saddened by the news. He says Scalia's passing is a great loss to the court and the nation.
He'll be remembered in many ways, certainly as this larger-than-life figure, larger-than-bench figure, someone who embraced both the law and a life beyond the court.
Now, he was 79 years old. And Alabama education officials are looking into legal issues that placed requirements on an Illinois school system to allow transgender students equal access to a girls' locker room. The meeting took place in Hoover, Huntsville, Selma, Decatur, Anniston, and Chickasaw. And Alabama lawmakers are expected to vote on a bill that would block cities from setting local minimum wages. WVUA 23's Yostina Benoob joins us live now with more. Yostina.
Jabari, the proposed legislation comes after Birmingham proposed a wage increase for the city. By March 1st, they hope to raise wages. According to WVUA 23's political analyst Steve Flowers, legislatures control a lot of decisions that local county and city governments make.
They do that sometimes. They will sometimes exert their influence, which is what's the case Representative Faulkner in Jefferson County is doing now. He does represent a very small portion of the city of Birmingham. The city of Birmingham should be able to raise the minimum wage and set the salaries for their employees any way they want to. It's their city. They were elected to run the city. The legislators were elected really to run the state government.
Birmingham City Council voted in August to establish an hourly minimum wage of $8.50 by July 2016 and $10.10 by July 2017. Republican State Representative David Faulkner of Mountain Brook filed a bill that would mandate uniform minimum wages in Alabama and void local wage ordinances. Currently, Alabama has no state minimum wage and uses the federal one of $7.25 an hour. Advocates for low-income workers say local governments are better suited to handle local wage regulations. Proponents of the bill have said higher wages mean higher costs for employers and consumers and reduce job opportunities for low-wage workers. Democrat Representative Dario Melton from Selma says current minimum wages keep workers in poverty.
That's a perennial issue that comes up forever. My entire lifetime, the Democrats want to raise the minimum wage. Republicans want to keep it lower because Republicans' argument is that it's business owners' decision how much they can pay their employees.
Flowers says he doesn't expect the bill to go past the floor.
I don't think it will finally be passed because Democratic members of the House and Senate of Jefferson County will filibuster and tie the whole session up. But that happens quite often because of these particular local issues.
In February, members and supporters of the Tuscaloosa 1010 Minimum Wage Coalition rallied outside of City Hall to protest high minimum wages. Mayor Walt Maddox met with the coalition back on January 27th. He supports a minimum wage increase but believes this is a matter of the state legislature. Reporting live tonight, Yostina Banoop, WVUA 23 News.
All right, Justina, thank you. Well, Tuscaloosa City Schools will host a series of community meetings. According to the Tuscaloosa News, the meetings are to inform parents about the strategic plan it passed back in December. It focuses on curriculum and instructions, investment in staff, and capital improvements. The meetings are Thursday, February 18th at 6 p.m. in the auditoriums at Central, Northbridge, Bryant, and Central High School, The Tuscaloosa's first black police officer is laid to rest today. Willie Byes Jr. was hired in 1966, but because he was black, he did not receive all of the same benefits as other police officers. He was 79 years old. An update to a story we first told you about last month. A Northport family has learned that 4-month-old Michael McMullen, who died after he stopped breathing at La Petite Daycare in Birmingham, was ruled accidental. He died 6 days later. The family filed a lawsuit against the daycare. It closed last month. On a lighter note, Tuscaloosa came out this morning to take a walk and raise awareness for heart disease. WVUA 23 Yasmin Panetta has more.